Hi everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. Today I'm going to be doing the first installment of this month's Reblog Book Club. In case you guys aren't aware, the Reblog Book Club is a Tumblr book club where a book is picked every like 3-ish months or so, and then over the course of a month we discuss that book. I will have a link to the playlist of my previous Reblog Book Club videos in case you guys are interested in that. I will also have a link to the Reblog Book Club Tumblr itself in case you guys want to check that out. I highly recommend following along with them and reading the books that they recommend, because every book I've read for the Reblog Book Club has been amazing so far, so I've always enjoyed participating in it. So the book that has been picked for this month is Saint Mazie by Jami Attenberg. This is like a historical fiction novel where you are following this young girl named Mazie. She lives in New York City in the early 1900s. I believe this book will take place from like the 1900s through the Great Depression. In this video I will be discussing part 1, since that is what we are talking about in the Reblog Book Club this week. So a quick synopsis, completely spoiler free. Mazie is this young, boisterous, kind of does whatever she wants, lives the life that she wants to lead despite what her role in society and her role as a female would suggest that she should do. She has no problems going out, having fun, hanging out with guys, having boyfriends, and you know, doing all the things that are not supposed to be done at that time period for women. But then she ends up working at this movie theater as the ticket collector slash giver, but she ends up becoming sort of like a patron saint of the area that she's working and living in, hence the title of the book. She cares a lot for the men of the street, the homeless men who live there, who are particularly hit hard by the Depression, and she does her best to sort of help them out. In part 1 of the book, you are sort of just getting a lot of background information about Mazie and her personality and her life, and especially like her family and her background, things like that. And I feel like we're sort of just getting like little seeds being planted to what we know will be coming in the future, as well as just seeing like Mazie's life progress as she gets older and the choices that she ends up making. One of the things that I found really interesting was just her relationship with the homeless woman whose name I cannot remember right now. This woman is sort of just like panhandling on the street in front of the theater, bothering the customers who are coming to the theater. So Mazie tries to get rid of her, but then ends up feeling bad for her because she has 2 children. So she goes back to her apartment and sees just like the horrible situation that they're in and wants to help them out as much as possible. And then when everything goes wrong, she ends up getting like burned by the experience and doesn't want to help people anymore, which I thought was really interesting, because based on the synopsis of the book and what I've heard about the book, we know that later on during the Depression, Mazie focuses a lot on helping the men in the area, and part of me wonders if that early experience had anything to do with her choice to specifically help men, or if it just has to do more with the fact that women and children are more likely to gain sympathy, and so therefore Mazie's more sympathetic towards the men who can't seem to gain that sort of help from other people. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying the book. The style of this book is really interesting because it's written in a documentary style, which is, I don't think, something I've ever read before. The way that it's set up is like you see there are like diary entries, so you see like it says Mazie's diary, the date, and you are reading about some experience, but then some of the paragraphs have like a person's name, so it's written as if the person is being interviewed. And the way that the book is set up is that these diary entries and the interviews are sort of mixed together, so you're getting sort of an outsider's perspective and an outsider's opinion on what's going on in Mazie's life, as well as Mazie's sort of firsthand experiences or her stories, things like that. So it feels very movie-like, which I thought was really interesting since Mazie herself works in a movie theater, and there is a little bit of a discussion about early movies and the progression of them. In case you guys aren't aware, this book is historical fiction based on an actual person. Jami Attenberg read a profile of this woman. I don't remember where she read the profile, but then after that she became really interested in her and ended up writing a fictionalized story of her life. So it's really interesting to see, and just having that like sort of perspective on this world during this time. So yeah, I really am just excited to dive into the next part and just to see what's up next in Mazie's life. So yeah, those are my quick thoughts for today. If you're participating in the Reblog Book Club, feel free to leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys thought of the book so far. Also, part 1 ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger, and I'm interested to see if Jeannie ends up being a part of the story in the future or not, and what's up for her, because we know Mazie stays in New York, but what's gonna happen to Jeannie? Do we even find out? We'll see! So yeah, that's all I have for now. Bye guys.